Good morning, everyone. I just had a funny one happening. I got ready for the video, this, that, and then it just started on its own. I think my tablet here has a little bit a life of its own going. There's all kinds of stuff that's happening with it. I'm going, oh, well, okay. Don't really care. Uh, as long as I can make the videos and I can upload them to YouTube, done, good. It is freezing cold out there. I mean, it's like 20 some degrees. Ugh. And I woke up shivering this morning. Yeah, I guess I wasn't preparing for should have put more blankets on. Well, I was fine. I'm fine now. I turned up the heat a little bit. I turned it way down at night and even have a cracked window because I like some fresh air. But I had a little too much fresh air this morning. It was so cold. It was so cold. And I just had this image of people out there not even having a roof over their head, laying somewhere on a bench or in a doorway or under a bridge. Or it was like, oh my gosh, this is just not right. It can't be right. How is this happening to us here? Anywhere to people. I could see that happening if there were. All right. I could see it happening if everybody were just on their own. Yes, but we have governments all around the world. Where is there in any country not a government, right? That is leeching off the people. That's what they're doing, right? And benefiting from the people, right? So that they can have what? The high seat somewhere as president or in a senate or as a prime minister or king or queen. Or, okay, I don't know if they still exist. And they live in these mansions and these, oh my gosh, I don't know. They have a gazillion rooms and then there's people out there in countries like that. Okay, there, as I said, is there anywhere a place still that doesn't have a government in place? People in power, people who decide what law is and what not law is, and okay, governing the people. Anywhere? Then there shouldn't be anyone out there without a roof over their heads. I'm just saying, go build that is no, just done, done. I can't see why. The sad thing is with these shelters and all, from what I've seen and heard. Okay, I have a story on that one actually. Is that the people don't feel safe there. Yeah, they want to go. They'd like to have a bed for the night, be a little warmer, right? And then go on again during the day. It is what it is, right? But they don't feel safe in places like that. So then I have to assume that these people who are homeless, a lot of them, or a few of them, maybe some just take advantage of that. I don't know. Are criminals. Not only that, but they take from the poorest. Right? They may be poor, but then they're taking from the poorest on top of that. And, to the point of where they get stabbed and this and that in the middle of the night. Yeah, while you're sleeping on your bunk. Oh, thank God I had somewhere to go. There are many churches out there opening the doors, right? But then what goes on? Among the people that need the help. Okay, all right. Always the few, right? The majority probably is just peaceful and loving in a way and wouldn't hurt another soul. And then there is always the few, right? That have to create that kind of danger on top of, right? So sad, so sad. And one can't do anything about that. Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So how do you check that? Right? Yes. Oh no. So sad. well, I talked about that in the other video where it isn't just the uppers who are not doing their job. It's what they wanted. They wanted to do. They want these positions and all that. Well, then they should do their job, right? It's also the common people just being what to each other, doing what to each other. So it's just I don't get that. Just what is that? Yes. Anyway. Oh yeah. Uh, I was 17 and I had a boyfriend. And we liked to travel, so we would save up our money and then we'd go and travel together. And on one of those trips, my boyfriend liked, and I was smoking pot too. Who didn't? Now, if I were to want a position or whatever that someone's jealous, oh, there we go again, jealous of, and I would be perfectly qualified for it now, per se, as an example. Some would be jealous and would want mine. Or they'd say, well, she's got some ideas that are really good. We don't want that. Then they'd would go be going digging around, right? And find that, I was 17. I went to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, right? Yeah. Everybody wanted to go to Amsterdam when you were, smoking pot and stuff because it was legal there. You could just buy it, without having to go to jail or whatever. So my boyfriend really wanted to go there. So I said, all right, let's go. There was this place called the Milky Way. Oh, God. I don't know how people like stuff like that. How places like that. It's awful. I hated it. Okay, I didn't hate it. I did not like it. That was definitely not for me. Anyway, so besides that, but we couldn't find there was some kind of a festival going on, and we didn't know that when we decided to go there first before we went to Spain and Portugal on the same trip. So we were only planning to stay in Amsterdam for about 2 days, and we couldn't find a place to sleep. Everything was booked up. So we went to a sleeping. It was called a sleeping, yes. Well, the one disturbing thing, yeah. No, so we went there, and it was only $5 for a night, or 5 Swiss francs. That's about $5 now. Oh well, that was cheap. Oh, that's cool. And I stuck my head in one of the rooms where, as I said, they had all them bunk beds in there in a big old room, and it stank so bad. I said, I'm not going in there. So I told my boyfriend, I said, hey, let's just sleep out in the hallway. If they wake us up and tell us we have to move, well, then we'll move. But, oh, to begin with, I said the one day we were there, I so did not like it. It was so, that was probably the most depraved city, and I was 17, yeah, where you enjoy all the partying, this and that, right? We ended up just walking around by accident in the red light district as well. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but this is another thing I had never seen before. And I was like, there was a street with these houses, and the windows were just open. There were these women just parading themselves in front of prostitutes. But that you could go in, I guess, as a man or as a woman, I don't know. And I saw him saying, well, what the heck? Where are we? And he says, oh, God, that's got to be. And I'm going, hey, let's get out of here. So by then, it was already dark. And I said, let's just leave. I said, let's not stay another day. I'm sick of this. I said, I don't like it. Yeah. And he was all right. I mean, he was a really laid back kind of guy. So he's just, yeah, okay, yeah. And then, as I said, we couldn't find a hotel room to sleep in. So we went back to the train station first, and at 1 o'clock in the morning they closed the train station, and they said, "Yeah, you can't stay here. You have to leave." So we found this sleeping and ended up sleeping out in the hallway. And my boyfriend couldn't hardly see anything without his glasses. So I said, "Give me your glasses. I'm going to stick them in my underwear just in case." Somehow there too, I just knew. I said, something's not right here. Something's not okay. Oh, another thing too was I went to the bathroom there, and it was fairly clean. It wasn't too bad. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this piece of paper, kind of like a flyer that was hanging on the bathroom door. And I'm sitting there on a pot and looking at that. It had different languages, and one of them was German. And it said, "If you overdose, let somebody know. There will be no police or whatever. You'll be taken care of." And I'm going, well, if you're overdosing, I'm not sure who you're gonna call because you're kind of down already. So that was kind of silly, right? But the other thing was, oh my gosh, this is like, yeah, I get it, but what a way to just enable people, young people, right, to get into much heavier stuff than just smoking weed. Right? Anyway, so I thought, oh my gosh, started looking around. Is there anybody laying there? Maybe I could help out. So we laid there and went to sleep, and I made sure that all of our valuables, our money, this and that, it was somewhere where you'd had to turn us over or whatever, and I would wake up. It was pretty lit there too where we were. And sure enough, suddenly I felt someone kind of tapping on my legs. I'm starting at the bottom of my legs and my feet, like searching me. And I woke up. I said I was on the alert. My boyfriend never even woke up. And I sat up. I said, "What are you doing?" And it was a young guy, and he just ran off. That was it. I was done. I woke him up, and I said, "We gotta go." It was about 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock, and our train was gonna leave about 7 or 8 anyway. So I said, "Let's go. I don't care if we sit in front of that train station for the rest of the night, morning, but we're done. I'm done here." So that was my experience, right? In one of those places where, if you were homeless or whatever for a really small amount, you could go and rest. I wonder how much they charge for that now, right? Yes, I don't know. So many years later, what, 40 some years, 45 years later or something? Okay, not quite. Anyway, gosh, so I'm thinking, anyway, I woke up thinking about, oh my gosh, them poor people out there. And even then, there's, okay, you know what? It's just weird. It's weird. So that was it. That was my experience in Amsterdam, in a kind of shelter for people, because we had nowhere else to go to sleep. And got a good look into that too, right? Yes, I got all these experiences, so to share them and to just wonder over how come too in a place like that where you'd say, okay, there's all kinds of stuff could be happening here. There was nobody patrolling. They had no one, right? Nobody. In the Netherlands too. I don't know if it's still like that, but many years ago it was like that. You could go to college and they pay for everything. The government pays for you to go to college, pays for everything. When you're done with your education, you can start another one. You say, "Oh, I wanted to be a cook, but now I want to be a doctor." And you can start over again. They pay for everything. So if you wanted to, you could all your life just go from one profession to the other and learn and go to college for and have everything paid for you, right? Yes, yeah, isn't that something? So they got that going. but they can't hire a couple of security guards or something, or people, monitors, hall monitors in places like that, so the people actually do stay safe? No, not possible. Okay, I see. Well, it's pretty clear that this was a government run facility there, that sleeping or whatever it was. Yes. Uh, so there it is. Anywho, uh, that was definitely a 17. And I'm never ever going to Amsterdam again. That was the most depraved city uh, I've ever been to. I mean, you talk about you, okay. People might not like this that are from the Netherlands. It's not the only time that I went there. The second time I went was much better. I had a nephew there with his whole family, and we got to see the oldest windmill, supposedly, ever built or whatever there, and went to the Van Gogh Museum, and went. Let's see, what else was there? There was this other guy that I really liked too. He's a good painter. Can't remember his name. So that was all nice. Yes. Okay. Smaller. It wasn't in Amsterdam. My nephew said, "Do you want to go to Amsterdam?" I said, "Oh, hell no. No. Mm-mm. You can keep that city to yourself." And so, and we had all of our children with us. That was when we took a trip, and our whole family went, yes, to Switzerland. And then we rented a van and we traveled around for a couple of weeks. So that's how we ended up there, because that nephew was one of my husband's actual nephews, right? That was a married on nephew for me. Anyway, so yeah, dirty Amsterdam to me at that time, maybe it's different now, it's dirty and a depraved city that reminded me of Sodom and Gomorrah. There you go. We have Sodom and Gomorrah cities. Yes, we do. Here too. All right, let's get going. I thought I was just going to start in the Proverbs. Here I go. Thinking about how cold it was and then going into what direction. Yes. Oh, so why don't I have taken people in who were homeless. I have taken people home with me and had for them to shower and have something to eat, but then they had somewhere else to go, so it's not like they were sticking around. Did I take chances on that? Sure I did. But I also let Spirit World guide me when it came to that. Yes? Okay. So, and yes, I have taken in many who needed a home, who needed a roof over their head. Yes. And I would say 8 out of 10 just took advantage of that. Yes. And then there were 2 that had to say, wow, that was such a blessing. Yes. To have them here, to have taken that chance to take them in. They were wonderful. Yes, wonderful, needed that little help, this and that. And they are standing very well on their feet now. The rest of them, I don't know. Don't care. Okay, don't care. It is very sad when you finally have to ask someone to leave, because you can tell that things are not going to change, and now you just brought some rotten eggs into your home. Yes? Yeah. Then they need to go and break open someplace and, let the smell. All right. I kind of look at it, if God sends you the help that you need, talking about now them people I took in, and God sends you the help that you need in a good person, and they will bend over backwards, yes, for you to get back on your feet, yes, to find some meaning in life, or this or that. And then it gets abused in that in all these different types of ways. Then they didn't need they didn't really want or needed the help in the first place. Not truly, right? Yes, yeah, it just took advantage of me. and my good nature. Yeah. So, anywho, but again, I think there could be ways, solutions, and I'm not saying I have them all, where people who are out there who also sometimes choose to live like that, us being homeless, this not who does that? No. Well, I was told that by young people that they want to be. They don't want to have to pay bills. They don't want to pay rent. They don't want to work. They panhandle for money so they can have their booze and their drugs and a little something to help. There's plenty places where you can, you find a quarter on the road, pretty good. No, it's I said quarter for a meal, and they like that. And then they just hang around the rest of the time. And anybody that gives them money, they consider a sucker. There, I was told that by one of them in Berkeley, California. Yes, People's Park. Maybe some people remember People's Park. I don't think it's there anymore. Anyway, yeah, so you kind of go, oh, okay, I'll remember that. Doesn't mean that I didn't keep helping or giving, but so there is a bit of a difference there when it comes to the individuals interacting. As I said, would you bring someone home to your whole family that you find out there? Well, I did that. I did that on more than one occasion and got the kind of looks from my children and my husband going, so why would you do that? I said, well, because it felt like the right thing to do. Right? And it never went sour when it came to that, per se. Nothing ever really serious. But I feel that if you want to govern, I'm not governing a country, right? But if one wants to govern a country, be the president of a country, then the first thing should be, okay, it's going to get really cold. It's going to get really hot. We have to have facilities where these people can go safely. We're going to have to figure out a way, yes, to have this done safely. And here's the thing. I guarantee you that when it comes down to it, well, here's a solution. Well, many of these people, if one were to say, oh, look, they could sign up, said, we need some people who kind of watch. And they'll make you can make a few dollars with that. Don't put conditions on it like, oh, you can't use it for alcohol or drugs. Right? But if that's the case, right? First of all, alcohol is legal, so don't give me that. But with the drugs, well, why are they so widely available here in this country then? Yeah? Oh, okay, so that's another problem. My gosh, let's get going here. There's always ways. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yes, there is. So these countries, everybody out there, all these governments need to buckle up. When it's cold like this, you should not have one of your people sleeping anywhere outside. Just saying. Okay. Dear Lord. So we are in the book of Proverbs, and this is like the super chapter 2, the major collection attributed to Solomon. Oh yeah, I went back, I read that before I started, and I'm going, well, what the heck was the other one then? Was I under false assumption here that this is all? No, I wasn't. They just worded it differently here. And, you don't name names, then whatever. The sage speaks, avoid bad company, commendation of wisdom. The sage speaks. Who was that? Right? If they know it was a sage, then you should know who it was. Well, they don't know, so they just throw what? Nilly-willy, whatever people wrote down, some dude wrote down for whatever reason, into the Bible? Well, no, so I must assume it came also from Solomon. Where else would it come from then, right? All right. The major collection attributed to Solomon. 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise child is a father's joy, a foolish child a mother's grief. I would say a wise child is a father's and a mother's joy, and a foolish child is a father's and a mother's grief. Isn't it? Oh, or does this again... See, you already got me started. Or does this again prove that, oh, you know what? fathers already know, that they're foolish. Men are foolish. Men are just foolish. And that's why it's not the, and it won't cause any grief because, oh yeah, I've been there. I was young and I did some stuff when I was young as a man. Yeah, okay, it was pretty foolish. What are they all admitting to here? Or Solomon assuming against that everybody is out there like he is when it comes to certain things? I'm just saying. How does that make any sense? And what does that have to do with wisdom? Okay, you know what? Let's just keep going. Treasures wickedly come by give. Treasures wickedly come by give no benefit. Well, he should know that as a king. Yeah, I mean, how do they get their stuff? But uprightness brings delivery from death. Yahweh does not let the upright go hungry, but he thwarts the greed of the wicked. Okay, what did I just say? What did I start out with? Is it true? Is it true that Yahweh does not let the upright go hungry? So everyone out there that is hungry is not upright? What about the kids? There aren't any hungry children out there? And at Solomon's time, there weren't any hungry children? Oh, well, the parents are responsible. No. It says here, Yahweh does not let the upright go hungry. What does that actually mean? Is it true? It's not true, is it? Okay. But it is true that, yeah, children do depend on their parents to do the right thing. On their parents to, have that luck to have it, to take care of them. Yes? Okay. Is it all luck, this and that? From my knowing where I started, which was at the bottom as an adult, if anything, and then started at the bottom in a new country again. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of hard work. Yes? And some smarts. It took some smarts too. Yes? To know how to calculate, I've got this much money for food. How do I spend it to have enough money, enough food the whole month? I did it. I always did it. And yes, there were little things coming my way. Maybe because I did. Okay. Yes, God does look out for us. He really does. But we have to do our part first. Yes? Okay. Anyway. But he thwarts the greed of the wicked. How? How has he ever thwarted anyone that was greedy? They just take. Right? I've never seen any thwarting going on when it came to that. Yeah. Do I think, well, I hope that kind of, how's that going to bless you? Right? Yes. I think what happens often with greedy people, they lose their friends. The greedy people don't keep their friends. Huh? Yes? Or maybe upright people don't. Because they don't want to be used and abused, right? By greedy people anymore. So, I don't know. One goes both ways. Weird one. But does God have anything to do with that? No, he doesn't. A slack hand brings poverty, but the hand of the diligent brings wealth. Okay, you know what? Again, I was like, oh, well, that's a good excuse to, right? Not share. Reaping at harvest time is the mark of the prudent. Sleeping at harvest time is the sign of the worthless. You got to remember that anything that Solomon wrote down was also, okay, that was his job. How do I get from the people what I need for all of my wife's concubines and children in the palace and the servants and the I don't know what, and for myself and the food and the clothes and the I don't know what. Okay? He had to come up with a scheme. Well, this is a good one. Yes? And you better not sleep at a harvest time. I'm gonna come for it. And the more the better, right? Yes? Okay. Anyway, but of course, otherwise it's true. Again, I can't get out of my head who wrote it. Otherwise, it is true. Reaping at harvest time is the mark of the prudent. Sleeping at harvest time is the sign of the worthless. I don't think that people who aren't harvesting are worthless. I don't believe that. But knowing when to be out there at the right time to benefit from the gifts of heaven, uh, it's wonderful. I walked around here in the fall and I saw all these crab apples, but they were in people's yards, right? And I thought, oh my gosh, they're just ripe. Crab apple jelly is really good. Now, you can't really eat them otherwise, but crab apple jelly is really, really good. And there was nobody home while I went walking with the bit. There was nobody was home in either one of the two houses that I saw them, and I didn't feel comfortable. Just even though it was in their front yard, there was no fence. I did not feel comfortable going and just taking them apples, right? No, crab apples, not even really apples. Right? And so I thought, well, I'll have to come maybe by myself, not with the baby, right? And go in the evening or something, which then it ended up not happening. Oh, so I missed the harvest time for something really delicious. But I said there was that. I'm not just going to go into someone's yard and just start taking, right? And sure, I have no doubt that they did not use those crab apples, right? I mean, they didn't use those. They were just going to, right? I'm pretty sure. But I still had to ask. Yes. Yeah. Anywho. So there was some apples over here too. I mean, real apples. And again, I'm going, ugh, I bet you they're not sprayed or anything. And I saw a lot of them on the ground. But again, you can't just go into someone's yard and just start taking their stuff, even though it's just rotting on the ground, right? One has to get permission for it. Yes? Yeah. There wasn't a sidewalk on the other side, so I didn't feel comfortable going over there and into but I could have just gone and asked, and okay, new neighborhood, and yeah, okay. But this year, I'm going to go around everywhere, yes, and knock on the door, say, hey, are you doing something with these apples? Would you mind if I take some, Yes, but I have to ask. I can't just, yes, yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. But anyway. Blessings are on the head of the upright, but the mouth of the godless is a cover for violence. The upright is remembered with blessings. The name of the wicked rots away. The wise of heart takes orders, but a gabbling fool heads for ruin. Anyone whose ways are honorable walks secure, but whoever follows crooked ways is soon unmasked. Really? I think this was all just wishful thinking that it would be that way. Yes? Find it a bit arrogant of Solomon to even write things down in that particular way, considering himself, which just tells me that nobody was afraid of God. They did whatever they wanted anyway. This is just to, I don't know, scared a few. A wink of the eye brings trouble. A bold rebuke brings peace. Really? Oh, okay. Okay, in what way is that meant? Okay, what are we talking here a lot about? Some guy who had nothing but sex on his mind. Well, there it is. A wink of the eye brings trouble. A bold rebuke brings peace. I go, what the heck is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. The mouth of the upright is a life-giving fountain, but the mouth of the godless is a cover for violence. Didn't I just read that? Yeah, I did. It's right up here, too. Hatred provokes disputes, but love excuses all offenses. Oh, wow. No, it doesn't. What? Let's just keep reading. On the lips of the discerning is found wisdom, on the back of a fool the stick. And how does one distinguish? I mean, how does one know, right? Oh, that's really good now. That's not good. Who decides, right? As people are so disunited when it comes to on how to understand something or how things should be anyway, right? So again, how are you going to choose? I think that's why it says, judge and you shall be judged. We don't choose. Right? We don't do that. That's not our job. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool makes ruin imminent. The wealth of the rich is their stronghold. Poverty is the undoing of the weak. Okay. I mean, that is, whatever. The wage of the upright affords life, but sin is all the wicked earns. Whoever abides by discipline walks towards life. Whoever ignores correction goes astray. All right. Liars' lips are a cover for hatred. Whoever others slander is a fool. That's an interesting one. Liars' lips are a cover for hatred. Yeah, why would people lie about things? Why do people lie about things? Well, I don't know. I think lying is a cover for fear more than hatred, right? Yes? But since it says whoever others slander is a fool, then so the slander is more about gossip, lots of gossip or lies, and yes, why would people do that unless they are jealous or really unhappy with someone, right? Yes, yeah, no, yeah. So kind of have to go with this one. Yeah, a flood of words is never without fault. Whoever controls the lips is wise. Oh, a flood of words is never without fault. Whoever controls the lips is wise. Okay. How long is 10 here? All right. So here it is. A flood of words, which this is a flood of words, is never without fault. Yes, we already figured that out. Okay, he admits to it. The tongue of the upright is purest silver. So, did that go for himself as well? The tongue of the upright is purest silver. The heart of the wicked is of trumpery value. The lips of the upright nourish many people, but fools die for want of sense. The blessing of Yahweh is what brings riches. To this, hard toil has nothing to add. A fool takes pleasure in doing wrong, the intelligent in cultivating wisdom. Well, that's interesting. A fool takes pleasure in doing wrong. Is that it? Is that what people don't want to change? It's too much to be desired in a and it brings them joy. That brings them joy. That well, you know. What the week? I don't know. Maybe someone needs to do a study and go around and say, "Hey, why are you robbing liquor stores and this that? Why are you in a gang doing this? I mean, do you enjoy that? You know, it says in the Bible, a fool takes pleasure in doing wrong. Are you a fool? Are you happy doing the things that you're doing in a gang, for example? That brings you pleasure? It'd be interesting to get a little deeper into the yeah, that kind of stuff. As I said, with yeah, What the wicked fears overtakes him. What the upright desires comes to him as a present. Oh, 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 I gotta mark that one. Wow, that's the best one that I found. This is absolutely true. This is a good one. What the wicked fears overtakes him. What the upright desires comes to him as a present. It's true. That is absolutely true. When the storm is over, the wicked is no more, but the upright stands firm forever. Yeah, well, as vinegar to the teeth, smoke to the eyes, so the sluggard to the one who sends him. The fear of Yahweh adds length to life. The years of the wicked will be cut short. I have no idea what that means, but that should be just taken out. That's just not true. The hope of the upright is joy. The expectations of the wicked come to nothing. The way of Yahweh is a rampart for the honest, for evildoers, nothing but ruin. You know what? This is just a flood of words is never without fail. Whoever controls the lips is wise. Right there. I'm going to have to mark that one too as a circle to this whole thing. The way of Yahweh is a rampart for the honest, for evildoers, nothing but ruin. Really? How? The upright will never have to give way, but the land will offer no home for the wicked. Is that right? I think it's more the other way around. The mouth of the upright utters wisdom. The tongue that deceives will be cut off. Yes, okay. Well, I tell you what, there needs to be a lot of tongue cutting off going on the internet. But it's not happening. The lips of the upright know about kindness, the mouth of the wicked about deceit. Oh, well, that goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning, and that's the end of 10. Oh my gosh, what a disappointment again. I can't help it, people. I just... oh. What did I start out with? What is Solomon doing actually with this big long babble in 10? Huh? Gus, you need to go out again. What do you want? No, it's time to eat, Mama. It's past 6 o'clock. You hungry? I'm almost done. He's taking, and he's what? He's whom? Huh? There, a king. King over Israel. I know, I'm coming. What's he doing? Making sure he's taking care of himself. By doing what? Letting the people all know what they need to do so that he's being taken care of. Yes? Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. So instead of taking care of the people, and being a good example out there, he's got all the guidance that he needs from God and from the prophets around him and whatever. Right? What's he doing? Well, have all the kings of Israel been doing? Yes. And how are the people faring? Just saying. All right. How many ended up dead and without a roof over their head? Couldn't bring in the harvest because of what? All right. Anyway. That's it. That's all I have to share this morning. Gotta go over to the house. I got a hungry boy here. Okay, here. Say hi, guys. Say hi. Who's your big head? Say I'm such a big boy. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, embrace you with love. Is this, if it weren't written by Solomon, right? If it were written by someone that I could really respect for their own example as a life, would this sound different? Would, to me, the same? I guarantee you that if this were written by an upright person, that encountered the presence of God, believed in the presence of God, this wouldn't be in here. This wouldn't sound like this. You see? So no, I don't have anything except for that one part. When the storm, no, let's see, which one? When the wicked fears, when what the wicked fears overtakes him. Yes. But in what way? Yeah? Yes. What the upright desires comes to him as a present. Yes. If it is a need, it definitely will. All right. That's it. That's all I have to say to that. And I will talk to you another time.